Well, Georgia beef producers and other farmers who depend on healthy pastures attended a conference at the Georgia National Fairgrounds and Agri Center recently. The event brought many experts together to educate producers on new management techniques that affect the overall health and profitability of their operations. Here's Mark Wildman with that story.
At the Georgia Cattlemen's Association's Forage Conference, producers got a great opportunity to hear from experts on how to get the most out of their pastures.
I hope the main thing they take away from this presentation is just when they look at the economics of these different type grasses, whether it's Bahia grass, Bermuda grass, to realize that it's not just how cheap is it per acre. You know, they need to evaluate not only the productivity they get, but what is the value of that production. And then certainly they also need to consider the cost, but at the end of the day, it's net dollars.
Here in Georgia, with warm weather and a long growing season, farmers have a great opportunity to save a little money by having their animals graze longer. Experts from UGA were on hand to bring cattlemen up to speed on new management techniques and varieties that will be a great benefit to them.
One of the key things is understanding the difference in how we can stock these pastures differently. We have certain varieties like Tifton 85 that goes extremely well in the southern two-thirds of Georgia that we can stock much heavier than we can the typical coastal Bermuda grass, or especially much better than the common Bermuda grasses. And not only in terms of stocking rate, but also in terms of animal performance.
Georgia beef producers struggle with many cost factors raising their animals, and if they make the wrong management choices in their pastures, it can affect their bottom line.
Anything that a producer can do to reduce the amount of hay or other stored feed and keep the animals grazing forages is almost certainly going to increase his profitability, because the fact of the matter is it's just a lot cheaper to have animals harvest the forage themselves.
You can make all the right choices as a farmer and still get hurt by the weather. Georgia has seen its fair share of drought, and when the weather turns extremely dry, farmers really suffer.
We're not out of the woods yet from the standpoint of drought. Hydrologically speaking, we are still very, very dry. Our stream levels are very low. So it's not a matter of if, but a matter of when and how bad droughts often are for us. And so we really need to look at the species that we're working with, as well as how we're managing it, and managing it for a good root system as well.
With grain prices high, farmers have to pay a lot for their feed. So the more time their animals can graze in the pasture, the better.
A couple of years ago, we looked at the operation and decided to go into the more intensive managed grass operation. So we've divided our pastures up into small paddocks, to where the main paddocks are about 10 acres. And then we take those and divide them up with little portable electric fences to move them around to smaller pastures and give the cows what they can eat in a day, and rotate them every day.
In Georgia, many producers depend on Bermuda grass in their pastures. It grows well in hot, dry climates, but when diseases and pests hit the grass, it hits Georgia farmers very hard.
And we're seeing some new pests showing up, like our Bermuda grass stem borer problems that have showed up in the last couple of years. So we're really trying to deal with multiple problems, multiple pests, multiple management issues, and trying to bring them all together to know how to deal with all of those problems at one time.
In the future, producers will have to continually adjust their management practices to maintain an edge. They can count on experts from the University of Georgia to keep them informed. For the Georgia Farm Monitor, I'm Mark Wildman.